Hey everybody, this is Jarhead Survivor. I watched a video earlier today with Lonnie, and I'll put a link to his original video here. And it was really cool, and I thought that I would give it a try. And basically it's how to build a long fire that will last for hours. So what I've done here is I found a dead tree that was laying similar to this one here, like that. That was it right there. I don't know if you can see it or not, right there. And this is the rest of it up there. And so what I've done is I've cut it up with my axe like this, about 3 feet long, and then I took some of the branches from the tree itself, which is a fir tree, and I'll be using those, and I'll show you what I'll do with those later. So right now I'm just getting everything prepped. So I got to get this back to my camp and get everything set up. I may not even do this light this fire today. Lonnie's rule of thumb was that for every inch for the width of the tree is how long the fire will burn. And this is probably about 4 inches, so I'm thinking that this is going to be a 4-hour fire with what I have here. And it's just an experiment. I'd like to try it out. This is for if you want to have a shelter set up and you want a fire going all night. You can get like an 8-inch thick log. Maybe something similar to that one over there. I don't know if you can see that or not. But there's a lot of trees, dead standing trees out here. And that's really what you want, is the dead standing. Make sure they're not too punky, so that if you poke it, your fingers don't go into it. You want it to be fairly hard. So you can see these here are good and hard. Whereas some of the other ones here are really punky. You see that? So that means this here wouldn't burn. Wouldn't burn for anything. It would be no good. So this is my go-to right here. So we'll see how it works out. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken these stakes and driven them into the ground, and I've got about a 4-inch log, one sitting on top of the other. You can see that I've got the spacer right there, and underneath I've got a bunch of tinder, and hopefully we can get the fire going. He had a bunch of birch bark that he was using that really helped him get his fire going. I'm not even sure if this is going to light. And I'm also using a fir tree, because if you look around, you'll see that I'm basically surrounded by pine and fir. So this is what I have to work with in this area. So I'm going to see if I can get it lit, and then I will come back. And if it's going good, I'll show you what I got. Okay, here we are about probably 5 minutes later. You can see my go big or go home approach. Lonnie has a lot more finesse in his approach. I just got her going. So I'm going to see how this works out. The stuff near the base will eventually burn out, and I'm hoping that the 2 logs will burn properly. So we'll see how it works out. I just wanted to kind of update you on where I was at. As you can see, it's throwing off a lot of sparks. And I've got my tarp up. So you want to make sure that you're not starting any fires in the woods when you fire this thing up. So anyway, I'll check back in a few minutes. Okay, as you can see, it's died down quite a bit. And it's burning just about as you would expect. Now, theoretically, this will burn about an hour for every inch of thickness. Like I said, these are about 4 inches in diameter. So I'll see how it does. And this is more of a proof of concept. As you can see, I didn't like the ends, which I probably should have done. But I'm not terribly concerned. I'm just going to let this burn for an hour or two, see how it does, and I can report back. It's really throwing some nice heat right now, and I think some of that from that residual coals right here in the front. But even then, I think that with the shelter configured properly, this part here kind of hung down lower at an angle to catch the heat as it goes up. This would make a pretty decent overnight camp out. So I will try it at some point. Tonight is just, like I said, a proof of concept. But so far it looks pretty good. I'm liking the way that it's shaping up. And okay, I will report back. Okay, a quick note about this overnight fire. is that this is not designed to be like a big raging fire all night long. This is just to keep the coals going and a little bit of heat coming at you. And basically this is a way to save a ton of wood. If you've ever spent a night in the woods trying to keep the fire going, you'll know how much work it is to keep that fire going and how much wood it takes. This here is like a slow cooker, if you want to think of it that way. The idea is to see right in there, that's where the action is happening right now. I'll pull the camera back before it starts to melt. But it's definitely acting the way that it's supposed to. On the end here it's not burning, so I think what would happen eventually is that this part here in the middle would kind of get eaten up. And over here, it's not, like I said, it's not burning. I didn't do that on purpose. So. But right now, there's still some good heat coming off it. If this lasted a few hours with just 2 chunks of wood, I'd say that's pretty good at this point.